Hi friends, welcome to Story Time, and I'm Miss Becca. And today we are going to be reading two books. And these two books are some of my favorites. But what I want you to pay attention to today is what the main characters, Wilbur and Leo, have in common. There's something really important that they have in common, and I want you to listen really carefully and pay attention very closely to find out what they have in common. And then we're going to talk about why that's important to you, or should be, I hope. So the first one we're going to read is Naked Molerat Gets Dressed. And this book is by Mo Willems. So last time you read with me, I introduced you to Elephant and Piggy and Pigeon. And this is another one of Mo Willems' books, one of my favorites. Let's read to find out what Wilbur is up to. Naked Molerat Gets Dressed. Do you know what a naked mole rat is? They're kind of a very funny looking animal, and they're called naked because they don't have fur like another kind of mole does. So they're really pink looking. Maybe you can look up what they look like online, but they're very pink looking because they don't have fur. So this mole rat wants to get dressed. There is so much to learn about the fascinating little creatures known as naked mole rats. But for this story, you only need to know three things. 1, they are a little bit rat. 2, they are a little bit mole. 3, they are all naked. Well, they were, with one exception. Wilbur, the naked mole rat who likes to get dressed. When the other naked mole rats saw him, they said, "Ew, what are you doing? Yuck." "I like clothes," replied Wilbur. "When I get dressed, I can be fancy, or funny, or cool, or just be an astronaut." When the others heard that, they said, "Oh, yuck. If you like clothes so much, then why don't you open a store or something?" Naked mole rats can be very sarcastic. You see that Wilbur is thinking about opening a store. But Wilbur thought that was a great idea. The other naked mole rats did not. They brought Wilbur to a giant portrait of Grandpa, the oldest, greatest, and most naked mole rat ever. "Look at that picture," they demanded. "Look at his heroic face. Look at his regal bearing. Do you see him? Look at his total lack of clothing." Grandpa did look heroic. Grandpa did look regal. But he would also look heroic and regal in a casual shirt and some summer slacks. "Ugh," said the other naked mole rats. "Don't you get it? Naked mole rats don't wear clothes." "Why not?" asked Wilbur. Something had to be done. So what are you noticing about Wilbur? If you had to describe him as a character, how would you describe him? The naked mole rats marched right over to Grandpa and told him about Wilbur. And then he asked why not. Grandpa was very wise. He thought seriously about everything he had heard. Then he thought some more. What do you think Grandpa's gonna say about Wilbur wearing clothes? Finally, he said in a heroic, regal voice, "Gather the colony, I shall make a proclamation." What do you think proclamation means? Sounds like a big, important word. When Wilbur heard about Grandpa's proclamation, he knew it was serious. A proclamation, a proclamation, a proclamation. A proclamation is like declaring something. So what do you think Grandpa's going to declare? But he had no idea what to wear. In the end, Wilbur decided to play it safe. What is Wilbur going to wear? Can you see? Just some socks. Maybe not safe enough. The others were busy looking at Wilbur's socks that no one noticed Grandpa enter until he cleared his throat and proclaimed, "Fellow naked mole rats, I have never worn clothes until I heard Wilbur's simple question. Why not?" Do you see Grandpa? Look at him. He went fancy, didn't he? Why not indeed? Do clothes hurt anyone? No. Are they fun? Well, they may not be for everyone, but this old naked mole rat wishes he had tried getting dressed earlier. Then Grandpa complimented Wilbur on his socks. As fast as his legs could take him, Wilbur rushed home, put on his favorite outfit, and dashed back. When he returned, Wilbur discovered he was not alone. Much has been said about that day, but for this story, you only need to know 3 things. Some of the mole rats were naked. Some of the mole rats were clothed. All of the mole rats had a great time. No exceptions. The end. So I want you to think about Wilbur and what we know about Wilbur. And we're going to listen to this next story about Leo, and I want you to see if you can figure out what Wilbur and Leo have in common. Okay, now I have a lot of favorite books, but this might be one of my all-time favorites, The Storybook Night by Helen and Thomas Doherty. I love this book, and I want you to listen carefully because it's such a good book. Leo was a gentle knight in thought and word and deed. While other knights liked fighting, Leo liked to sit and read. He was kind to every creature. He wouldn't hurt a fly. When Mom and Dad said knights must fight, he couldn't quite see why. What is similar between Wilbur and Leo? One morning, Leo's parents said they'd like to have a chat. There was nothing wrong with reading, but he couldn't just do that. They'd seen an ad that morning in their favorite magazine. A dragon needed taming. Leo wasn't very keen. Nonsense, you'll enjoy it. It'll stop you getting bored. In case the dragon's scary, here's a brand new shield and sword. Leo packed some sandwiches and lots of books, of course. Then with a sigh, he saddled up old Ned, his faithful horse. He hadn't traveled far, though the sun had risen high, when suddenly a fearsome creature swooped down from the sky. It had a lion's body, but it had an eagle's wings. A griffin, marveled Leo, who had read about such things. You think Leo's gonna fight? Come on, snarled the griffin, I dare you to fight. I'd rather not, said Leo. It wouldn't be quite right. I've got my brand new sword with me, so I'd be bound to win it. But how about a story with some pictures of you in it? Yes, please, the griffin nodded. He was really rather vain. So Leo read a book to him once, twice, and then again. It's yours to keep, said Leo as he clambered back on Ned. Oh, thank you, cried the griffin, and he bowed his noble head. So did Leo have to fight? Leo rode for hours, though the heat was quite extreme. Then stopped to have his picnic by a welcome mountain stream. Who dares to trespass on my bridge? Inquired a hungry troll. It's only me, said Leo. Would you like to share my roll? The troll just laughed. No thanks, he growled. I think I'll just eat you. But Leo said my armor's pretty difficult to chew. I've got a brilliant book, though, if you'll hang on just a minute. It's full of juicy goats, and look, it's even got you in it. That sounds good, the troll replied, his hunger put on hold. So Leo read the story with some changes, truth be told. It's yours to keep, said Leo as he clambered back on Ned. Oh, thank you, cried the grateful troll, and bowed his heavy head. Leo kept on riding through that long, hot afternoon. At last he came upon a town as empty as the moon. The leaves were burnt on every tree, the grass and flowers too. He'd seen some messy streets before, but this was something new. Faces peered from windows, folks too scared to go outside. He trotted bravely onward. Hey, watch out, the people cried. What he saw around the corner set him shaking in his shoes. The most enormous dragon who'd just woken from a snooze. Uh-oh. The dragon raised his eyebrows. Not another pesky knight. Don't worry, Leo told him. I haven't come to fight. I've got the most amazing book with loads of dragons in it. But it's going in the trash unless you clean up right this minute. Oh, don't do that, the dragon cried. I'll clean it up right now. But I'm really bad at tidying. Perhaps you'll show me how? So Leo taught the dragon how to shovel, scoop, and clear. And one by one, the townsfolk all began to lose their fear. Leo's pretty smart, isn't he? Now can I have my story, begged the dragon on his knees. So Leo read the book 6 times. A dragon's hard to please. It's yours to keep, said Leo as he clambered back on Ned. Oh, thank you, cried the dragon as he bowed his scaly head. Leo didn't fight at all, did he? When Leo reached his home at last, the cheers were long and loud. His parents hugged him very tight. Well done, you've made us proud. Now Leo is a hero. His parents have agreed. He doesn't have to fight at all. He's left in peace to read. See where he's reading up on the dragon and the troll and the griffin. The end. So let's think. Leo and Wilbur. What did they have in common? What was similar about them? What I noticed was similar about Leo and Wilbur was that they were true to themselves. Wilbur knew that he really liked to get dressed, and despite others making fun of him, and despite nobody else doing it, he thought, that's what I like though. And it came to find out that lots of others naked mole rats like to get dressed. And then Leo, everybody wanted him to fight and to be a knight. And what did he like to do? He liked to read. And he used his reading abilities to be successful, right? He got past the griffin and the troll, and he fought the dragon, but he didn't really fight. He convinced them that reading was wonderful. So what I really like about Leo and Wilbur is that they are true to who they are. Now, if you are fighting with your sibling or you're being naughty, you can't say, well, that's who I am, right? We're talking about good things, about liking to read or putting your clothes on or being a nice person. It's important that no matter what anybody else is doing, that you do the right thing. So I hope you enjoyed the stories today. And I want you to think about how you can be true to who you are. And I will see you next time. Thanks for joining us today.